Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, hey, thank God it's Friday. Here we again. Once again, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Hi, everybody. Welcome aboard once again. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. I'm your host as usual. Every Friday morning we get together and we sit together and have conversation, have a little coffee and sort of chew the fat. That's what we do each week. We thank you so much for being along with us. And for those of you who are here for the very first time, let me introduce myself again, Frank Allan, to you. And you get a chance to identify yourself if you want to come in and talk to us, because you can get involved in conversation, because that's what the show is all about. As I get things rolling, you could type with your little fingers on your keyboard, on your telephone, or even on your pad, you know, your iPad or your tablet, and any other device that you may use to communicate with us. And I will see you right there on the big screen, and I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas, and you can talk to others as well as you come in, because a lot of us are here. Now, we're here in 3 different places, 3 different areas. We're live on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and also live on Instagram. So pick your poison wherever you're watching us. And if you happen to be watching us on Facebook, well, what I want you to do right now to take the time, because since we're just getting started, and before we get into the meat of the program, I want you to make sure that you tag all of your friends, maybe not all, because I know you have a million of them on your Facebook page, but your selective few, maybe your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, or your relatives or best friends or whatever. And as many as you can, because the more the merrier. And when they see that notification from you, they'll know it's from you. And what they'll do, they'll click onto that notification and it'll bring them right here where you are, where I am, and where everyone else is. And they can talk to us as well. And if they happen to like what they hear and like what they see throughout the course of the show, well, then that would be great. They could be part of us each week. And a lot of you may be at work at this time, particularly if you're in the same time zone as I am. I'm on Eastern, so therefore we're a bit after 10 o'clock in the morning, and you may be at work right now. You may be on your coffee break, getting ready to set up for your coffee break. Well, what I want you to do is take your coffee break, stay at your desk, watch the show, get involved. And when that coffee break is over, how long is it? 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. When it's all over, you'll still be at your desk. You can go back to work and you can multitask and still watch the show at the same time. You may be hanging around the water cooler. Get away from that water cooler. Get your water or whatever it is, get back to your desk and join us here for more of the Coffee Hour right throughout the show. And if you're watching us on YouTube, I always encourage everyone to go on to my YouTube channel and subscribe to it. Just take your mouse, point to the place where it says subscribe, that little arrow says subscribe, click on it, and you're in. You don't have to pay a dime for it. It's free of charge. And as long as you're over 18, that's good. And what that does too, ladies and gentlemen, is get you involved. Now, how we do that is every time we come on live and you happen to be out there and forget about the show, we will get that notification out to you exactly when the show is on the air live. Even if we so much as post a video, you get notification. That's the benefit of subscribing to my YouTube channel. And a lot of people are doing it, and we hope that you're one of them. You can do it right now as we speak. Also, if you're watching us on Instagram, we thank you so much for being with us. You don't have to do anything special except for maybe tell your friends and your family and keep the word percolating on the show, and tell your family and friends, get them involved as well. You know, even if you have to jump on the telephone, say, hey, you know, this is where I am right now. Come out and join us. We're having a little fun out here. And that's how we do things. And of course, as I said, we'll answer you if you have any questions about anything. We'll, of course, get you involved in the show. That's all you have to do. And so you can communicate us. We're live. So we talk live, and we do that each week. Now, coming up, not too far away in the program, we've got a few things to take care of. For instance, pretty soon, Brian Camp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. The name of his show on this show is called sports update, and he will be here pretty soon. He'll give you that information, and you'll get a chance to see him live because we link up with him each week, and you'll get a chance to see him right here live, providing you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching us on Instagram, you won't get a chance to see him. We're not set up that way, but you'll still hear him. And you could still communicate as well. Even though you won't see him, you'll still hear him, and you can communicate just as well by using your fingers. If you have anything that's related to sports, a question about sports, anything like that, or you want to talk about it, he's going to be here to answer all of your questions as well. So that's coming up pretty soon. And later on in the program as well, before the show is over, I also have those great movies that I like to connect with you with, movies that are classics. And each week I go to Turner Classic Movies and pick up my picks of the week and add them to your bucket list of probably maybe to some of the things you want to watch. Now, some of you like to catch up on old movies each weekend or anytime at all, right? And so I want to be part of that. So I want to give you what I have this week, and you could add to your bucket list of what to watch. Other than that, you may be doing a lot of things this weekend. You may be getting ready to go outdoors to barbecue, outdoor barbecue, and hanging out with friends. We got a big weekend coming along and a lot of hot weather to deal with. So please, feel free. Now, also, all of you guys who are watching us on Instagram, all right, just keep telling your friends about it. Keep telling your friends, keep pushing the idea. Getting back to what I was talking about summer, right? And summer is here, and it's going to be around here for a long time. And that goes with the hot weather, which a lot of us are now experiencing. We got this heat wave going on. I know here in New York, we've got it here, and we're going to tell you more about our weather forecast because I'm going to read it off to you. And speaking of all of that, if you decide that you want to chime in conversation, give us your weather forecast wherever you are, so we can kind of compare notes. If you're someplace in another part of the world or another part of the country, we would love to hear what you have in stock for your weather this weekend. If you happen to live in the New York or in the vicinity of New York City, don't worry about that. I will handle that. That's coming up pretty soon. I want to say hello to Senior Cigar, Kevin Briscoe. Good morning to you. Thanks for dropping in, Kevin. You're always welcome here as usual. Kevin has his own show too. He promotes those tobacco products, as he calls them. Like blow a little smoke in the air. That's what he does. That's his thing. And so thank you so much, Kevin, for being along with us. Kevin also works in radio, just like I used to do. He works in radio, and he's been in there forever. And I used to work in the same station that he's working at today. I worked there years ago with him. He saw me when I came in, and he saw me when I left. So I think he has some stock in that franchise over there. Anyway, thank you so much, Kevin. And thank all of you for being along with us and getting ready to enjoy everything that we have for you. And remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on the show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any social media outlet or broadcast facility. So saying all of that and having said all of that, let's take the time out to do what we do, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So let's raise our cups, our glasses. Kevin, you have your cigar, right? You got your cigar. You can blow some smoke in the air along with your coffee as well. But Kevin, I don't think he drinks coffee. I think he drinks the Mountain Dew. He likes the Mountain Dew. All right. And so Kevin, all of you who are watching, excuse me while I shoot up. That's delicious. I don't blow any smoke in the air. I used to do that a long time ago. I used to, in my younger days, I used to smoke stogies, cigarettes, pipes, I had my share of it, so I guess I'll stick to coffee too. Kevin Briscoe has been on his present station, his radio station, for 40 years. 40 years he's been there. So I don't see him going anywhere. I don't see him making a move anywhere. After 40 years, you might as well stay there, just stay there and forget about it. So what does he has to say? He also has to say in TGE morning, in the morning, blood orange, sparkling water. Oh, okay. This is some of his favorite beverages. He has the sparkling water. He drinks sparkling water, but blood orange, I guess. What else? There's another one, tangerine, a whole lot. But whenever I see him on doing his show, he's got the Mountain Dew. I mean, maybe he drinks all the other stuff, a variety of great things, but I always see him with the Mountain Dew. But I think maybe the Mountain Dew come in those different flavors, Kevin. Probably they come in those different flavors. I don't know. Mountain Dew's been around for so long. I don't know. Anyway, whatever your beverage is, just enjoy. And again, excuse me again while I shoot up. Now, I'm drinking iced coffee. And it's obvious while I'm drinking iced coffee, right? Because of the fact that we're in the middle of a heat wave right now, which just, they say the first of the heat wave started yesterday. I already thought we had one, but maybe they didn't consider that one to be a heat wave, but it was pretty hot during those days. And the reason why I'm drinking iced coffee is because I want to cool off a little bit. Now, I know that's psychological because in reality, when you drink something cold or cool, your pores closes. They close, your pores close. So you don't have any ventilation to get into your skin. So you don't get cool that way. It's true. It's true. It's a known fact that, and I think it's psychological. We're all programmed that way, that it's so hot, I'm going to drink something cold and cool off. And you really don't. They say if you drink something cold in the summertime, in the heat, your pores will close up, so that doesn't give you any kind of ventilation. So it's best to drink a hot beverage so your pores open up and you get cooler. I don't know. I'm not going to even go by that hypothesis anymore. When I get, if it gets hot and I feel like drinking something cold, I'm going to drink something cold. And just if my pores don't open, then so be it. I'll just get on the air conditioner or a fan or something like that to stay cool that way. But anyway, whatever your choice of beverage is, whatever it is, just cool off the way you can, any way you can. And speaking of being in the heat wave, you want to stay hydrated as much as possible. The best thing to do is drink water and not iced coffee. All right. Water hydrates. You want to drink something that hydrates. And water is the best form of hydration there is, in my book. And drink plenty of that. And if you're going to go out in the hot sun, which I don't recommend, what I recommend is just stay home. But if you have to go out for any reason, maybe you have to go to the supermarket, why don't you knock on a neighbor's door, someone that's elderly, and find out if they need anything, because obviously we don't want them out there in the hot weather. Keep your pets indoors. Like I said, stay hydrated. Look on the elderly, look upon the elderly and see what they're doing, see if they need anything, and that would be great. And just go in and go out. And if you're doing any exercising, I don't think right now would be the good time to do it. Maybe you want to wait until the evening when things cool off, or whenever you do exercise. Like, for instance, I went to the gym. I went to the gym early in the morning. I go to the gym early in the morning. I don't go at any time anyway, but early in the morning. So when it's cooler. But around this time, you don't want to stress yourself. And even if you go to the gym in this hot weather, hopefully your gym is fully air conditioned. And even when you work out, do a light workout, but just keep that in mind. We want to keep everybody healthy and strong, and make sure no one gets sick or hurt or injured or anything like that. And just follow those rules. And above all, again, stay hydrated as much as possible. In case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. We're coming up to 15 minutes past the hour. And a lot of you are with us, and we thank you so much for being with us. I have a little local information that I want to pass on to the people of New York City. And I know this doesn't have anything to do with the rest of you. And the only reason why I'm doing this because the information was put out there already. The only thing is that I only heard it one time. And that one time, I'm not saying it wasn't broadcast after that, but I haven't heard it again. But I just want to keep people up to date, especially the people who watch us that come from New York City. I want to keep everybody up to date. You already know that the fare is going up. On August 20th, our fare will be increasing. Increasing will go up for the MTA. That's the subways and the buses. The fare is going up, and commuter rails as well. The fare is going up. Also, toll increases on the bridges and tunnels will take effect, but that will take effect on August 6th. For the subways and buses, we start hiking up on August 20th. August 20th, that's when the fare will go up on the subways and buses. But if you're getting ready to cross the bridges and tunnel, keep in mind that takes effect on the 6th of August. And the proposed base fare for the subway and buses are raised 5%. That means is that whatever you're paying now, you're going to pay a little more. For instance, the present fare for the buses and subways is 75 cents. So on the 20th, it's going to go up to $2.90. Okay, from $2.75 to $2.90. That's a hike. That's a hike. And we haven't had a raise in 6 years. So I guess they were due for it. I'm not really happy about it, but then who is? Now, if you're going to buy a 7-day ticket, the raise for that is going to be 3%, which now, if you're paying $33 when the fare goes up, it's $34. For the 30-day ticket, it goes 40% from $127 to $132. And if you ride the express bus will raise 4%. The express bus is currently $6.75, but on the 20th, it'll be $7 even. Boy, time flies and prices go high and everything goes up with the paycheck. Now, the 7-day express bus ticket, if you need one, goes up to 30%. The present price for that is $62, and then it will go up to $64. Toll hikes are also coming to the MTA, and they're leaning to a split option. 6% for Easy Pass, 6% for Easy Pass, and 10% for mail-at-home credit and for credit card payments. So you got a lot of things to contend with, and I can't go all over this over again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you information on how you can contact MTA and get more information and find out more. So I will give you their website. Their website is new.mta.info. Again, that's new.mta.info. Or you can call, if you so incline, 377-690-5116. I'll repeat that phone number again. It's 877-690-5116. We have a little sad news in the area of entertainment world. Another chain has been broken in the entertainment industry, and I don't like to report these things, but these things do happen. Irish singer-songwriter Sinead O'Connor, who became well known in her mid-20s and was known for her private struggles and provocative actions, as well as her fierce, expressive music, died Wednesday. She was public about her mental illness and saying that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. O'Connor posted a Facebook video in 2017 saying that she was staying alive for the sake of others, and if it were up to her, she'd be gone. She had a teenage son named Shane who died by suicide in 2022. O'Connor tweeted, "There was no point living without him." And soon after, she was hospitalized. She died at the age of 56 years old. We're sorry to hear about that. And all of our blessings and our prayers go out to the family. She died young. And of course, you may remember Sinead O'Connor with the iconic Saturday Night Live, when she did her little thing, and then later on she ripped up a picture of the Pope, and of course she got a lot of backlash and blowback from that. But anyway, she passed away, and of course we're going to miss her as well, as we always do miss all of our great entertainment people. We just lost Tony Bennett last weekend. We're going to talk more about that later too. And if you're inclined to talk more about Tony Bennett too, along with us, feel free. Again, if you have any kind of questions or anything, feel free to stay with us. Stay with us, because we're on top of everything. We try to stay on top of everything, and of course, we want to make sure that you know that everything what's happening here in the entertainment world and whatever we have to talk about. So all of that is coming up. Right now, I'm in the mood to talk sports. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass it over. I'm going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina. We do this each week. We link up with Charlotte, North Carolina, and hook up with Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And there he is. He wasn't here last night on camera, but he's here on camera this morning. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. I think I owe America and globally apology for not showing my face. I know you'd rather see me in person on the screen. You know, here you are. I'm right here, alive and well. Thank goodness. So It is 84 degrees. We are outside. It's going to be a mega weekend here at my house here, but we'll talk about that later. But it is 84 degrees and it's going to get hot. It's going up to 96 degrees. So this is that time of the year. It is summertime. So parts of the country, if you're complaining about the heat, what do you expect? It's summertime. What do you expect?
I never complain about the heat because I do all of my complaining in the wintertime.
Exactly. Exactly.
Then you know something, I take the bitter with the sweet. I'm alive to see the cold and the heat. So
yeah, exactly. So, but it's you know, sometimes it can be unbearable because sometimes you can't breathe in this kind of weather. You know, I have trouble, you know, I could breathe, but it, you know, it's like I gotta pace myself because sometimes I gotta, you know, take it easy, take it slow because my doctor tells me that, you know, and so you just gotta stay hydrated, stay cool and everything. But you know, well, more about that, but it is sports time, and hope all is well to everybody out there that's listening. Out there, Kevin. I like your setup there. You know, or what you drink and what you have. Great. I'm so glad to see that you have something like that and everything. Hello to anybody else is out there. Or Pete, I don't know where you at, but hello to all who always turn in. Yesterday, I wanted to say a birthday. I missed a birthday to the late broadcaster Irv Cross, who was a former football player and broadcaster for CBS. He was born in Hammond, Indianapolis. So I'd like to say happy belated birthday. Continue to rest in peace, sir. But in sports, in Major League Baseball owners has voted to extend Rob Manfred as sports commissioner, keeping him paced through the January of 2029. They voted to keep him in. I believe that's 2026. I'm sorry. So he's going to be in for a little bit longer, and you know he's the baseball commissioner. A lot of the players and owners do not agree with him, but they voted to keep him in, and hopefully by 2026, I think they're supposed to have a new bargaining agreement supposed to be coming up. So they're going to have to make sure that they all be on one accord. In the NBA, Michael Jordan, the sale of the Charlotte Hornets, the one that he had owned for 13 years as majority owner, has been approved by the NBA Board of Governors. 13 years ago, Michael Jordan bought the team for $275 million. So that came to an end. He's no longer the majority owner. He is still the minority owner, which means he still has some stake in it. He purchased it. He sold it for $3 billion. So he made a nice profit, you know. Like I say, he will stay on as minority owner. Ronnie James, NBA legend star LeBron James, is still recovering. He's home now, by the way. I got to say he's home now. He had went under cardiac arrest early this week in practice because he works for, he signed up to enroll in USC basketball team. So he was practicing with his teammates, and we don't know what exactly happened, but LeBron James was spotted by photographers entering into Cedars-Sinai Medical Center where his son Bronny was being treated. He was in ICU. He's out of ICU. He's in stable condition. And as of last night, he is now home, resting and recuperating. We don't know his status or whether or not he's going to continue playing basketball. Got to understand, a cardiac arrest doesn't mean that you had a heart attack. It means that your heart stopped. So, we don't know. I guess time will tell later, at a later time, of what is going to be going on. In the NFL, Jim Brown, who passed this early in this year in May, will be celebrated as the Life of Pro Football Hall of Fame weekend. Activities will be a private memorial on August 3rd by his wife, Monique Brown. He died at the age of 87. Jim Brown is considered one of the greatest football players that ever lived. And to me, I think he's the greatest running back of all time, maybe the greatest player of all time in football. That's debatable. You choose, everybody have their own opinions on it. So this day in sports, July 28th, 1933, the NFL divides into two 5-team divisions. That means two divisions, 5 teams each. That was in 1933. That was 10 years after the NFL originally started. The NFL started in 1923. So as time went on, they added more teams. Now we're up to 32 teams, something like that, I believe. So, over time, the NFL grew, money, revenue was coming in. 1985, Lou Brock, Enos Slaughter, Yvonne, and Hoyt Wilhelm are inducted into Baseball Hall of Fame. 1989, Atlanta Braves player Dale Murphy hits 2 3-run home runs in 1 inning. Now that must have been a high-scoring game because he hit 2 home runs in 1 inning, but it was 2 3-run home runs. I'm going to say that again. He hit 2 home runs in 1 inning, but both of the home runs was a 3-run home run. So they must have scored a bunch of runs for him to bat around, for him to bat twice in 1 inning. 1993, Seattle Mariner Ken Griffey Jr. is the third to hit home runs in 8 straight games. That's hard to do. When I tell you, when that's hard to do, it is hard to do because you got to, when you hot like that, then what happens with pitchers tend to pitch around you. But he did it in 8 straight games. Birthdays this day, on this day, 1943, Bill Bradley, a political Hall of Famer and basketball Hall of Famer, I should say. He was a politician who's now no longer a politician. Birthday he was born in Crystal City, Missouri. 1949, Vida Blue, who just recently passed away, Major League Baseball pitcher, was born in Mansfield, Louisiana. And in 1951, Doug Collins, NBA coach, he was a guard playing too, a basketball guard. I believe he was a 2-guard, a shooting guard. And he was a broadcaster, was born in Christopher, Illinois. Weddings, 1960, Brooklyn native, went to boys high school when it was just all boys, weds Marilyn Reed. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a hot and blistering, scorching day here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Who went to boys high school? What was his name?
Lenny Wilkins.
Oh, Lenny Wilkins. Yeah, he did go to boys high. He did go
Lenny
to
Wilkins, yes.
that was my alma mater too.
Yes.
A lot of great people came out of boys high school.
Yeah.
Let me see if I could name some. We already mentioned Lenny Wilkins, Connie, what's his name?
Connie Hawkins.
Connie Hawkins, Floyd Patterson. Let's see. I think I was gonna say it was a Red Auerbach, but it wasn't him because he went to City College, which is where I came from as well. Who else? Tommy Davis of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Quite a few, quite a few.
You got Mel Davis.
Mel Davis, right. As a matter of fact, Mel Davis and I graduated together. Singer Ronnie Dyson, my good friend, the late Ronnie Dyson, was there. And all of those people amounted, all of those people, you know, did something. They came out of Boys High and they became someone. That's one of the things that I'm proud of. I'm proud of it. Boys, it was a fun school to go to. And don't think that we still didn't have our share of girls.
Oh no. That's the purpose of cutting class and meeting the girls, right?
My mom were around. If she were around, she'd kill me. I can tell
those who are listening, you youngsters, don't do it. Don't cut school. You stay in school.
No, don't do it. We were taking chances then, and because back in those days they had truants. I don't know if they did when you were in high school. They had truant officers back in those days. And
yeah, they call them. I think they call them. I think peace officers or something. I think they call them something else now, where they just patrol to make sure that you're in school. If you're not in school, then they could arrest you and give you a summons.
I don't know if they have those officers anymore. Do they?
I don't think so. If they do, it's very rare.
They used to spot. They used to spot you. You know, they used to. If you look like a student, and school hours was going on, they would spot you, and then they want to stop you and find out, you know, what are you doing out of school? You know,
that's what they would do.
I was lucky because I had managed to dodge them, you know, but that's another show. That was a long time ago. But for the rest of you kids, Brian is right. Don't do it.
Yeah,
I was crazy. I was a crazy kid. That doesn't mean you have to be crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm glad Bronny James is home. I didn't know he was home, but I'm glad he's home. So that's a real good guy.
Excellent. Yes, I'm glad he's doing well. But you know, there's some things that we just don't know about. I'm pretty sure they don't know about, but they're still testing to find out what caused it. You know, the football player who for the Buffalo Bills, Hamlet, you know, he went into cardiac arrest. He got hit, according to what a doctor said on CNN, got hit at a certain part of his heart in his chest.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, football is a brutal sport.
Yeah.
And he, that's what happened to him. Yeah.
And I'm not so sure to this day whether or not he had any issues prior to that getting hit, because that could happen to anyone. If you get hit in the wrong place, that could happen to anyone. You could be the healthiest person in the world.
Exactly.
But no one ever said that he had any prior issues prior to that, you know.
Right.
But I'm glad he's doing fine. He's getting ready to go back, do his thing, play this season.
Right.
And this will be his first season since that situation. Because when do you have your notes available when the first game of the NFL will return? You know it?
It's the first game of the NFL is usually that Labor Day weekend. It's usually for football you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for football. It's usually, I don't have it offhand. It's usually that Labor Day weekend. In fact, it's on that Thursday. The Thursday night is always now the first game of the year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on a Thursday night, and then you're going to have regular Sundays, and they're going to have Monday night football. The first 2 weeks or the first week is usually 2 Monday night football games.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to the original format.
We're going to have to see how that goes, because we had some the teams that were really up there at that time. You had my Minnesota Vikings, your Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants. The Jets were out that season. The Jets were out. They didn't do anything. But we have to see what happens. Maybe they could keep up that energy of possibly getting back into the game again. We'll see what happens. But until we got baseball, and if you notice that I haven't been bragging about my Yankees too much, because now they're down in the cellar.
Well, yeah, the Yankees and the Mets, they played early this week. They played a 2-game set, and they split. And it's just both on social media, especially in the New York area, being blasted by the New York teams, especially the Mets, and they let money on these 2 pitchers, and they still last place. It's just unbelievable, or next to last.
Yeah.
But they better get going. Both teams better get going.
Well, you know something, I may be suffering with a delusion of grandeur, but I think the Yankees are going to go into the World Series.
Yeah.
That is delusion.
Yeah.
Right now it's delusional, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
We shoot back and we'll see what happens, because they
I wanted to also mention before I go. Also, I didn't report it, but I should have. We're in the midst of the World Cup with the soccer, which is worldwide. And one of the on ESPN, one of the announcers was doing an interview, not an interview, but they were commentating. It was two guys, and one of the guys just stumbled and passed out live on television. He is okay.
What happened?
TV and everything.
Passed out?
He just passed out because of the heat. And that's why I wanted to tell everybody, be careful in this weather. If you don't have to go out, don't go out. Absolutely. Don't go out. It's hot. Wait till like early evening when it cools down some,
Yeah, and I was saying earlier, even if they do exercise, you want to go to the gym, do it early in the morning or late in the evening, like you said.
Right.
That's to
exactly
cool off a bit. But you say you got something going on this week.
Yeah, so I got some things. Yeah, come on. Let's take a little tour. Right here we got the benches. Yeah, this is where they're gonna be sitting at. This is where I was sitting at right here. We got a big. We're celebrating my father-in-law's 80th birthday / family reunion. So it kicks off today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And yours truly will be, guess where?
You're blocking it.
Yep.
You're blocking the view. Okay. Now it's better.
Yeah. Yours truly will be right here with the grill, with the two smokers, and this is where all the brewskis and all that other stuff is going to be at. And tonight is fish fry night, so I'm going to be doing a lot of fish frying and chicken and everything. So yes, it's going to be hot, but I'm going to have probably a wet towel on me to stay cool. So the event is on. I'm going to invite anybody could come. I'm going to invite, just don't tell my wife and everything that you're coming. I'm just going to just have you there so y'all can taste some of my great food, the smokers. And Saturday, the fish fry is going to end somewhere around 8:00. As soon as they leave 8:00, the meats are going to go on, because the meat's got to be cooked overnight. Going to have some brisket and some ribs, and they're going to have a party and everything. And take some pictures of the family reunion. And Sunday they're coming back here to the house here again for a brunch. I'm going to sneak upstairs and go to sleep because I don't like to get up early in the morning. But they're going to come here for brunch, and they're going to be sending on themselves away to go back home to their destinations.
Boy, it sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like a lot of fun. So you
got to work, but yes, fun.
You got a well-packed weekend ahead of you, but you like doing it anyway. So it's not, you can't really say it's work because you really love doing it.
I love doing it, but it's so hot. So I got to find a way to stay cool and hydrate and just keep myself, cool and everything. I forgot to tell you, it was at the 11:00 hour. I'm going to wake up all the kids there. We got a house full of people. All the nephews and the grandkids are here. The niece. We're going to go to the pool. We're going to take a dip in the pool, and we're going to stay there for a couple of hours. And then I got to be back here by 2:00 to start this process with the food. So got to spend time with the kiddies. The kiddies love me and everything. I'm grandpa, uncle. So I'm going to do my part and everything. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be tiresome. But Sunday night, I'm going to find myself going to bed probably around 6:00 in the evening with the AC blasted.
Hey, listen, all I can say is enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, have a good time. So we'll catch you back here next week then.
Yes, everybody take care. Seriously, stay hydrated, stay cool, be smart. Don't go outside if you don't have to. Hope all is well. See you next week.
That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, that's an action-packed weekend he's got going. I wish I can be there. But I'd be traveling from the heat to the heat. So I don't know. But it's always fun going out there though, in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he puts the work, he does the work out there. He puts on the dog, out there. So have a great weekend, Brian. Enjoy yourself. Maybe I'll get out there next summer. I don't know. We'll have to see. And he's got so many events coming up too. He's got a cruise coming up, but I think he's going to take a couple of weeks off here to enjoy himself. But look, listen, these things happen, it's deserved. And people do it. People want to go on vacation. People want to enjoy. And I encourage people to do that. If you have a vacation coming up, by all means, do it. Get out there and enjoy and have a party. Relax yourself. As they used to say, get down from the blast from the past, whatever. That's how we used to say it in radio. Get down from the blast from the past. Hey, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called the Coffee Hour. I'm Frank Allan, and we're going to be with you until the top of the hour, of course. And of course, we thank you so much for being along with us. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. And just in case you're just joining us for the first time, please be advised that you can chime in on conversation and, talk to us as well. Now, one of the things that I didn't do yet, which I'm going to do right now, because I always ask people, if you're going to chime in a conversation, give us your weather forecast. You can do it, or you don't have to do it. Either one, it doesn't matter. But what we're going to do is I'm going to give you my weather forecast right now. We've got a scorcher coming up. Now, those of you who are living in New York City, please, again, and Brian said it, stay hydrated. It's 83 degrees outside right now. 83 degrees. That's pretty warm for this time of the day. And it's going to go up even higher and higher. And so this is what we got going for us. So like it or not, here we go. This is the weather forecast, ladies and gentlemen. We've got abundance of sunshine and near record high. And temperatures are going to go up to 94 degrees. 94 degrees, winds will be light and variable. For tonight, mainly clear. We'll have a low 79 degrees. Winds will be light and variable as well. For Saturday, variable cloudiness with scattered thunderstorms. And of course, those thunderstorms are going to be potentially severe. We'll have a high 92 degrees. Winds will be southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 50% for Saturday night. If you incline to go out to a movie or something, you want to go out of town, you might want to take the umbrella with you. Be cautious about it, all right? It'll be scattered thunderstorms in the evening and mostly cloudy skies overnight. And we have potentially, again, severe thunderstorms coming. We'll have a low around 70 degrees. Winds will be north-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and chance of rain will be 40%. And as we wind down, which I hope a lot of you do, after doing all of those crazy things you do over the weekend, you want to make sure that Sunday is a day of rest. Go out to church or do something light. Again, be very careful, drink a lot of water. It's going to be cooler for Sunday. We have intervals of clouds and sunshine, and we'll have a high of 81 degrees. Winds will be north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's when we wrap up our weekend and get ready to go back to the grind and do our thing. But the warm temperatures stay with us for the bulk of the weekend up until Sunday. It gets a little cooler, but that doesn't mean it's still not going to be warm. It's just going to be cooler than Saturday and today, so, proceed with caution. Again, make sure that you're totally hydrated at all times if you're going to go out there. And if you don't have to go out there, by all means, stay in the house and enjoy, sit back, relax, and drink something cold and watch TV or a movie or something. Take care of yourself. And again, check up on the elderly and find out if they need something going. And do that. But the main thing is have a lot of fun. Now, Brian, he's going to be out in the heat cooking and all of that stuff. What I said, what I started to suggest to Brian, I don't know how it works or how sufficient it is. But they have these things that I've seen advertised on TV and it's like a cooling little strap around your neck and it cools you off. And I've seen those. I saw a lady in a supermarket one time wearing one of those. Let's say, how is that working for you? She says, it's okay. And so I guess it wasn't really cracked up on what it's supposed to be. But, any way you can do, whatever you can do to keep cool, keep cool. Okay, so there we have our weather forecast. And of course, if you want to join in conversation, give us your weather forecast too. And we really would appreciate that. And of course, we appreciate having you along with us for the coffee hour. I talked about early in the program, we lost another talent in our musical business, Sinead O'Connor, the Irish singer, the Irish songwriter. Well, she passed away at 56 years old. And I also mentioned the fact that Tony Bennett had passed away just last Friday, as a matter of fact. Was it last Friday? No, last Friday, just last Friday. And we got that news just before we went on the air last Friday. And I'm still trying to process the thought of losing a talent like Tony Bennett. It was hard to imagine, just the other day, I think it was Thursday, I went to the coffee shop, had my little coffee. I'm sitting there and I had my earbuds on and I had my musical playlist going on. Everybody does that. You have your playlist, whatever your choice of music is. And then a tune of Tony Bennett came on. He was singing the September song, one of his finer ballads, and I just sat there. And I froze. I said, man, I can't believe this man is gone. I almost got a little misty for a minute. And I've said it time and time again. One of the things I always wanted to do was meet Tony Bennett. I always wanted to meet Tony Bennett personally, and all of my years, I just been procrastinating. It's just a matter of reaching out. Thought about having him, doing an interview with him, because I was always told by people, and I know people who knew him, they always said, hey, something, if you want to talk to Tony Bennett, he would love to talk to you. He loves music. He loves talking music. He would love to talk to you. And I just procrastinate, and never got a chance to do it. But I am glad that he left his legacy behind for all of us to enjoy for years to come. It would have been great. And something, the thing about it, I only lived like a small drive away from where Tony Bennett lived. That's how close I lived next to him. Just a small drive away. He lived I live on the east side of town. He lived on the west side of town. Up on Central Park, and that's like if I were to drive over to his house, it would have been like maybe about a quick 10 minutes or so, providing the traffic is good, But then we're talking New York City, traffic is never really that great, but it's about that time, about 10 minutes, and it would have been nice. And it's my fault. But a lot of people told me that knew Tony Bennett said he would love to talk to you. He said he would love to talk to you. You love music. He loves music. He loves talking about music. He talks about his business in music and his paintings and all of that stuff, because Tony Bennett, of course, was an artist as well as a singer. And so he had two fine arts. He loved to paint and he loved to sing. Those are two fine arts he had. And the thing I liked about Tony Bennett, he was very engaging in his shows. He was, he always had that, I think he was born with that smile on his face, because he always had that smile on his face. And I love the way he just saluted his audience when he came out on stage, throws his arms up in the air, or after he sings a song, people applaud him and he salute them like that. Loved him. And that's the kind of person you knew that loved his art. He loved his work. He loved his work, and he loved sharing his work with you, And when I see a person that really love what they do and share what they have with you, you want to embrace that. You want to, that's the kind of person you say, I would love to get to know that person. And Tony Bennett was one of them. Love to get to know that person. I've had, so without even knowing it, I probably had a lot of good chances to actually meet Tony Bennett and talk to him. I think the very last interview that Tony Bennett had was with Anderson Cooper. And sadly, he wasn't performing. He performed when he did that interview with Anderson Cooper the night before he had performed at Radio City Music Hall. Sadly, the following day when Anderson Cooper interviewed him, he didn't even remember performing the night before. When Anderson Cooper did that interview, it was all on CNN. He had Lady Gaga and so many people. He worked with so many people. And the thing about with his career, throughout his career, the reason why he stayed in his career and his business so long and being loved by so many people, even the generation before they were born, before they knew anything about Tony Bennett embraced them. And Tony Bennett had a chance. They had a chance to sing with Tony Bennett. People like Lady Gaga, Diane Krall, people like Amy Winehouse. Rest her. She passed away, and I kind of got to him when she passed away, and so many other great people. He gave those young people a chance. And you just don't sing with Tony Bennett, not like that. I would have loved to sing with Tony Bennett, but this is what I do, so stay with it. But it's going to take a long time before a lot of us process. I had a person ask me one day, he says, well, who's going to take Tony Bennett's place? And I said, well, there's nobody going to take his place. No one can take his place. I said, the best that anyone can do right now is keep his legacy alive and keep the great American songbook alive. I had another conversation with another person, said, that the American songbook after Tony Bennett, because Tony Bennett, let's face it, Tony Bennett was the last of the great American songbook artists, the last of them. He was the last. Sinatra and all of those guys left before him. He was the last. That's it. No more. And so the newcomers would have to learn of this music and embrace this music and not change anything about this music and keep it alive. And we try to do that. And so the person I had the conversation with, he says, well, as far as I'm concerned, the Great American Songbook, it's over. Tony is gone and it's over. No, it's not over. It's not over. Think about it. Think about it. They kept a lot of great standards around, all of the standards. And by the way, there's a difference between standards and classics. Standards stay, but classics is forever, And so you have the people who've done that, brought this music to the forefront. You have people like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Nat King Cole, and of course, Tony Bennett. And these are the people who made this music. And you had I guess the last person that's really alive that still does it. We can't forget him, Steve Lawrence. Steve Lawrence is still alive. I don't know if he's working, if he retired or anything like that. I don't know, but he was in the mix of all of this great music. And you had Vic Damone and all of those other people. Diane Carroll, she was an actress, but she sang too. Leslie Uggams, all of those people. Leslie Uggams is still alive, but the groundbreakers for all of this music are the people like music, and then you had Count Basie who backed them up on a regular basis. A lot of people. We're going to miss Tony Bennett. I'm certainly going to miss Tony Bennett. While I'm at it, I want to send out some blessings and some prayers out to Mitch O'Connor. Mitch O'Connor, you probably saw or heard about him just Thursday or Wednesday, I believe it was. He was in front of the cameras, he was on national TV, and he was at the podium making a speech. And in mid-speech, he stopped and froze for about 22 seconds. I counted the seconds myself. Some people in the media said 19 seconds. I counted from the time he stopped until the time his doctor came over and asked him whether or not he wants to say anything else or go back to the office. That took 22 seconds. I don't know if they counted all of that, but everybody in the media said 19 seconds. I'm sticking with mine, 22 seconds long. And anyway, he had that episode and people were kind of worried about it and they're thinking about it. So I want to send all of my blessings and all of my thoughts out to Mitch O'Connor. And a lot of people say, well, you know, he's this, he's Republican. We're putting all of the politics aside. And if you have the guts enough to do it, I really wish you would. It was nice for President Joe Biden to call on him to see how he's doing. He said, because Mitch McConnell said it himself. Now, after he had that little episode for about 22 seconds, he moved away from the podium, but then he came back afterwards and told everyone he's okay and started answering questions and, you know, and sounding as normal as possible. The media, the people interviewed him, they talked to him and he says he's doing okay. He was sandbagged. He was kind of like joking about it, but he was sandbagged. And so that's all of the information we got at this point regarding his health. I hope that he's okay. I hope that the next time I hear something, they come back with some kind of great positive information about him. Obviously, they're not going to let out more than they want you to know about what's happening with him. But as far as I'm concerned, he looks good, okay. But I just want to send out all of my blessings out to him. Hey, listen, it's time for me to give you all of that information about the movies, right? I only have one this week. That's all I have. Just one. And this goes back to 1948. 1948, Humphrey Bogart. Key Largo was the name of the movie, starring Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, and Lauren Bacall. And that's coming on Turner Classic Movies. That's coming on this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's one of those classic movies. It's in black and white. You love those black and whites. So I always pick out movies from Turner Classic Movies that I think that you would like. My picks of the week. There are more. All you have to do is go to Turner Classic Movies and scroll through the program guide and see what's available. I might not have mentioned it. That doesn't mean I don't like them, but I only picked that particular one for this weekend for you to enjoy. And there may be others, so you can do that and go there and watch them either in real time or DVR them and watch them at your own convenience if you don't get a chance to watch them live in real time. Also, while you're there on Movie on Demand, they have a chock load of movies that you can watch from A to Z, movies that you haven't seen in a long time, movies that may jog your memory, and you can go back and watch them. They're all dated. They'll let you know when they'll expired, and because they have to remove them to replace them with other movies so you can enjoy other great movies that come along. But they usually recycle them. They come back again and again. So you can do that too. And there are a lot of great movies. Also, pay-per-view movies. You want to see the latest movies that are in the theater right now? Go to pay-per-view. You pay a little more than the regular pay-per-view movies that were in the movies in the past. But that's something you want to do. That's a great consideration. And also, too, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a sports person, I like wrestling. If you missed a wrestling match or anything, depending on what network is on, you can go back on demand on that network and you could see it the following day, sometimes without commercials. Sometimes. I'm not going to guarantee you. Sometimes they do it without commercials. Sometimes they drop in little commercials, but you'll get a chance to see it if you missed it. You'll have all kinds of great documentaries and children's programs and all kinds of things available to you. So you may want to watch that. So again, here we go. Key Largo, Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, Lauren Bacall. That's Saturday on Turner Classic Movies. And again, and you can check that out. And it's coming on Saturday at 2 p.m. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can email me, frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's going to do it for me. My weekend is officially underway right now. I am going to come back with you Thursday for Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will be with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. I hope you will be here too. You can always come back here next week as well for the coffee hour. We'll be here with Brian Camp and a whole lot of great stuff coming along. And in the meantime, I want to bid each and every one of you a great day, a great weekend. Again, if you're in that hot area, stay hydrated and come back here and we'll see you soon. Okay, take care. So, bye.
You've been watching the Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.